So Cell Max is busting out of this little chamber of water that he was kept in while he was like getting made and stuff, and he falls into the water and he ominously comes out of the water, and look at Dr. Hedo's face. This man actually thought that he was in Attack on Titan. And then once Cell Max gets out, he just lets out the loudest, craziest scream of all time. Look at Hedo, bro. He is shaking in his boots like, didn't you create this thing? And then Cell Max just looks up at the little chamber he's been kept in, and he's like, yeah, I don't like this. And Hedo comes out like,
hey, this motherfucker got them fake keys!
Gammas know that when somebody makes a corny joke, it's over. So Cell Max busts out of the little thing, and he's looming over Earth right now. Hedo turns around and Cell Max lets out this big aura burst thing, and Hedo just sits there. I think he might have been trapped, but he just looks at it. I know Hedo's the type of person to watch a killer just run towards them. So the Gammas just fly through it, and they're like, ah! And then everybody else is getting blown back by the wind that this is creating, and then it slowly fades away. And then the Z-Fighters are just looking at this man Cell just in the air. And then Cell turns around and 18 is tweaking. And I mean, honestly, I would be tweaking too if this happened to me. And look at Krillin. Krillin, I won't lie, Krillin also has experience from this form of Cell. And so Cell lets out this big sigh, and the Gammas are like, alright, we gotta take our brother down. And then they just fly in. And I'm gonna be honest, I knew that they weren't gonna do anything, but they try to, and they start swinging on Cell. And of course, it's obviously not doing anything. And that's what I always wonder. I was like, what would have happened if Cell got perfected? But everybody's shooting their strongest attacks at Cell, and it's literally doing nothing. And look how fast he can move. And so everybody's tired, and then Gamma 2's like, alright, I'm gonna boom him. And then Gohan's like, Gamma 2, I know you're new here, but in the history of history, self-sacrifices have not really been very effective. And then Gamma 2's like, oh well, I don't care. And then he just powers up and he's like, alright, you guys hold him off. And then he just flies into the stratosphere. So everybody's using their strongest attack at Cell, and Gamma 2 is just charging in space, and then he just flies down. And then everybody's still shooting at this man, and Gotenks is looking stupid. And then Krillin comes in and saves 18, which is the most important thing that he's done the whole movie. Because when Pan was like flying, then he's just like, Pan, you've got to fly. And so Krillin also hits a solar flare, which kind of stuns Cell Max for a second. And then Gamma 2's like, all right, now's my chance. And Gamma 2 comes down from the sky using his core breaker attack, I guess it's called. And everybody's like, go! And then Gamma 2 is just using everything he has on Cell. And honestly, I knew this wasn't going to do anything. Because like, Gamma 2, I'm sorry you were just introduced to this movie. You're not going to be the person that's going to finish Cell off. So everybody's like, oh wow, Gamma 2 actually finished the fight. The movie's over now. We can all go home. Cell just lost his arm. So Piccolo is going in to fight Cell. And they do this little clash. They looking like Goku and Vegeta. And so Gohan's trying to power up so that he can fire an attack at Cell to make sure he's dead. And then Piccolo is getting cooked. Piccolo is literally getting dragged by his face. Like, this was a super brutal beatdown. And they also brought blood back in this fight. And honestly, this fight might have been worse than Videl. And actually, no, that's a lie. This fight was not worse than Videl versus Popovich. That fight was insanely hard to watch. But that's another story. And so Piccolo is still, and he loses his arm, and Piccolo is getting absolutely obliterated. And then Gohan's like, I'm angry. And then look at this impact frame right here. This impact frame is crazy. But anyways, Gohan transforms, and it's looking like the first time that he went Super Saiyan 2, they tried to remake it. And honestly, the OG one is better. The original one is better. But look at this form. I know some of you guys in the comments are going to talk about, oh, Beast Gohan, the design is so stupid. But I disagree. This form is crazy. And so Cell Max is not having any of that, and he tries to punch Gohan, and it does absolutely nothing. And Gohan's like, fine, I guess it's my turn. And then Cell's like, oh, I might be cooked. And then Gohan kicks this man in the stomach. This man said, I can't afford to lose, and hit him with the Dragon Ball Legends special. And make sure you kill him. And so Cell is trying not to let that happen. And then Gohan charges up his special beam cannon. And Cell just looks at this and he is absolutely terrified. So then he starts actually using his wings to fly. And then he's trying to get out of there. And Piccolo grows his arm back. I don't know why he didn't do that sooner. But Piccolo is getting thrown around. He's not even really doing anything. And so Gohan charges up the special beam cannon. And he fires it at Cell. And Cell is like, nope. And then he throws it at Gohan. And honestly, they had this looking like a Sparking Zero beam clash. This looked crazy. But anyways, Gohan wins the beam clash, and Cell gets absolutely obliterated, and it fires through the little weak point on his head, and he got hit with the Dragon Ball Fighters. And then Gohan ended the movie right there, and Piccolo was like, huh, we did it. Anyways, that's the end of the video. Like and subscribe. Bye.